My name is Martha D. Staab. When I attended ENMU, I was Martha D. or Keyless, but now I go by Staab. The degree I received was communications with an emphasis in public relations, got a bachelor's degree. And now I own my own marketing agency, which is it's an interesting road how I got there from PR to marketing. It kind of goes hand in hand, but yeah, I own my own marketing agency. I was actually born in Chihuahua, Mexico. I was brought over to the US by my mom and dad who were already living here. I was raised in Roswell. I'm an only child. I'm a second generation college student. My mom was the first generation. She started going to the university here at ENMU, and then, she had a couple of courses on the main campus. And, unfortunately, she didn't graduate. She was juggling a lot of things, and she was super ambitious, but, she didn't get to walk down that stage and receive that degree. So I did. I started out at ENMU and got a good course of courses there, got a good chunk of the degree plan done there. And then once I got to everything, my dad's like, finish everything before you go over there. And I did. And then I had 2 years left and I finished it at ENMU. Well, right now, I'm a little bit of a health nut, so I have been working out a lot. I was just recently in Seattle, and typically, I don't know if you've ever been over there, but there's a lot of rolling hills. And so what I like to do is I used to like to walk those hills, and those were super challenging. And this time, because I had been on a health kick since the new year, I found a gym nearby, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go in here and see what this is about. And I tried out workouts I'd never done before, like yoga and bar and cycle. And I was like, you know what, and I had fun doing it. And so anytime I can get out and walk around or just move my body, that's typically what I'm doing because I'm working so much. And then when I do have time, I do travel quite a bit. And sometimes it's for work. Sometimes it's, for just me to travel. I recently took my family to Mexico, and we saw the pyramids for my birthday because that was my dream. I had been dying to go down there. And I'm like, you know what? I travel so much in the US. It's time to go out. And so I try to make a trip once a year to somewhere that's not work related, that I can just push everything off to my team. And I'm just like, you know what, don't bother me. But if something breaks or something's bad, then call me. But other than that, don't bug me. And so traveling is a big thing right now for me. So that's typically what I like to do, is work out and travel. I kind of wanted to complete my mom's mission in a way. And I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to go graduate from here. So I started out, it was a stepping stone to get to where I was going. And my dad didn't want me to go too far. He was just super protective too. He was like, we have a fine college right here. You're going to get your stuff done here. And ironically, I'm glad I didn't go away because he was diagnosed with cancer a year after I started attending ENMU. So I was glad I was able to be nearby. And so anytime I had class, I would just run back home and hang out with my dad, or if he needed a ride to the hospital or the doctors, at least I was there, so which eventually this cancer killed him. But I'm glad he told me to come here. It was just him, for one, just wanting me to be nearby, and I'm glad that, I don't know, something, divine intervention, I guess, but he forced him to say, hey, you're going to stay here. And then I started looking at, the benefits of it. And I was like, yeah, you know what, I can stay at home longer. It's, all these credits are going to transfer to ENMU's main campus. I'm like, it's fine. It has the degree that I want. And I said, you know what, it's just a better plan. And so I'm glad that, that happened. It was weird how it happened, but at the same time, I felt that connection with my mom too. So it was a couple of things that kind of, served that purpose for that. I really wanted to join a major in journalism. I was like, you know what? I like put the two degree plans side by side. All right, journalism and public relations. And I saw journalism super heavy with journalism classes, but PR had far more options. So I was going to learn journalism, magazine writing, graphic design, public relations. I was going to learn all those other things. Again, I didn't want to stick in one box. I wanted to be able to, I just saw there was a possibility. If I wanted to be a reporter, I could be a reporter. If I wanted to do public relations, I can, because I graduated under this umbrella. It gave me far more options, and it was super fulfilling for me, because then eventually when I graduated, I ended up becoming the editor of the Roswell Daily Record. So that was one of my first gigs. So I fulfilled something I wanted to do by that. And then when I moved to San Diego, that's when I kind of sprouted out into PR/marketing. I started working in marketing and working for small businesses, and one day, I was doing really well for this company I was with, and out of nowhere, I was just terminated. No reason, no nothing. I had pumped a lot of money, like millions of dollars, into this business through the marketing that I was doing, and it was one of those things that just kind of jolted me, and I almost wondered, like, is this the end of my career? And I was unemployed for 233 days. And I ended up working for a business coach as a part-time job. And that was an awful experience. I think it was the experience I needed, because this person was a very horrible boss. And after 3 months, I got let go there. And I said, you know what? I'm done working for people. I know I'm good. This person had told me, my previous boss had said, I just don't think you're a good marketer. And I said, I've made businesses over $10 million. I think I'm a good marketer. And then she let me go. And I said, I'm done working for myself. And that's how MDMC Entertainment, which was a side hustle for a good while, turned into my full-time job. So I've been doing this now without a security net, without a 9-to-5, for about 4 years now. So I'm self-sustained. So I'm really proud of that. It was an interesting road to get here. Ultimately, I really want to just I want to run a very successful marketing agency. Right now, we're boutique, super small. I have several interns that come through every year, and a good chunk of them are graduating this year. And so it kills me, because I just don't have enough of the bandwidth to bring them on full time. And so I would really love to see my company, MDMC, just grow and become a mega force of the one-stop shop. I also developed MDMC Authentics, which we sell a lot of Funkos and action figures that are signed and authenticated by reputable authenticators. And then I have also MDMC Talent, where I represent talent that go to Comic-Con conventions. A lot of talent don't know how to get out there and to show up at these shows. So acquiring a cool talent roster as well. I just want to be the ultra mega force. I can do it all. If we have a client that comes in and says, hey, I need a Comic-Con, but I also need you to manage my social media. You got it. I'm done, The fountain. When my mom was doing classes, she would have to come on the weekends. For whatever reason, she had classes on Saturdays, so we would make a day of it. And so I can't remember. I think I must have been 10 or 9, somewhere around there. And my dad was like, let's just walk around. And so I got to know the campus before I actually attended. And so yeah, the fountain was always my favorite. And I don't know, it was nostalgic for me, probably because it was my dad that took me there. And then the fact that I lost him in my junior year, and walking around the campus, it was nostalgic for me. So after he died, I spent a lot of time there just thinking, so. Dr. Patty Dobson, she's still there as a professor. She's killing it. She was very integral in my growth there. I remember having her for several classes because she taught all the PR classes. And I just had so much fun with her. She's just one of those teachers that this was meant for her to be a teacher. And I remember she was like, all right, we're going to meet up and, look at we're advising now for the next classes. And I said, well, I really don't like my advisor. Can I just go with you? And she's like, yes. And so she really kind of helped me along the way. And she advocated for me when I went on my internship. She advocated for me to earn a certificate at the end of the year. From what I heard, quite a few professors advocated for me to win that. So yeah, I think, Patty is amazing. I'm sorry, Dr. Dobson. I still talk to her. That's the thing. She's one of those professors that kept in touch with me the entire time, and I still talk to her. She just recently did me a huge favor, writing a recommendation letter for me for something that I was working on. And so she's definitely, to this day, I'm forever grateful for her. And she really helped me whenever my dad died, because I told her, I was like, this just happened. And she's like, I will let everyone know. Don't worry about a thing. And she was just my angel. Like, I'm forever grateful for her. I ended up, the only thing that was outside of the classroom was my internship. I really didn't do any clubs or anything. I was really focused on just making sure that I was able to equip myself well before I graduated. And my neighbor, Keith Gardner at the time, was the minority whip at the House of Representatives in Santa Fe. I knew he did something important, but I didn't know what it was until I saw him at the Walmart, and he was like, do you have an internship yet? I'm like, no, this is my senior year. I said, what do you got? And he said, you want to come to Santa Fe? And I said, to do what? And he was like, to be in the Capitol. I was like, doing what? And he says, you could be a legislative assistant. You can learn, and I told him, I said, well, I have a PR, public relations degree. Like, I don't know how that would tie in. And he says, well, you'll see that there are lobbyists, and, you'll see how kind of like the way the law works and how some of those PR tactics work hand in hand for some of the people that are pushing for legislation. And I was like, okay, so I sent him my resume, and I got a call from one of the hiring people at the Capitol, and they told me to report to the Capitol in January of 2009. And I told my mom, I was like, I have to get this approved. So I talked to all of my professors and the comm chair at the time, that was Doc Elder, and they approved it. And so I was gone for 3 months. I did that. I was a 60-day session, and I was able to do most of my stuff online. Everyone sent me my assignments, so I kept in track. And yeah, so that was like the only big thing I did outside of the classroom. And I returned at the end of March, and from there on out, it was like a roller coaster down to graduation. So that was the only big thing I did. I wish I could have joined more clubs. I should have. I regret it now, because I would have loved to have done some broadcasts and done some things like that. I really did enjoy broadcasts, but I just didn't get the time or the chance to do it. So yeah, I have some regrets on that. One of the things is definitely don't jump around in your field of study, because it's going to cost you a little bit more money to do that. But really kind of have an idea of what you want your future to be like. And definitely get into a degree that will allow you, once you graduate, to kind of move in different directions in that field space. Because luckily for me, I had that option. So, really think about what's going to make you happy in your career, and then try to find a degree that works in that area so that you can forever be happy. Because don't end up at a job you're going to hate later, and it's hard to predict where you'll be unhappy, but kind of have a decent idea. One of the things I absolutely loved was just being creative. I knew I was a creative person, and so I knew that this degree plan would allow me to that, whether if it was creative writing or creative design, whatever that was. I just knew I was going to be happy in that area, and I knew that it was a good field to get into.